Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentleman podcast for Friday, September 9th. I'm your host, Scott Labrie, and joined alongside me, we have Uncle Teabag, Tyler Sunt,
Hello.
and Old Day Eric DeShane.
Hello.
How you boys doing today?
Lovely. Awesome.
Lovely.
Lovely.
It's not hot out. It's kind of raining. It's nice.
It's rainy. It's my kind of day. It's nice and cool. I'm sitting in front of my
Put on a
computer
nice
window
sweater to go
yeah.
out shopping today. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Watching the rain on my window right now. Oh, that's a perfect day right now. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Not working on a Monday.
Yeah, holiday. Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Right.
And it's going to get even better because we're going to talk about Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime. They dropped the first 2 episodes, and we'll do a little bit non-spoilery for people, and then we're gonna move into full spoilers. But yeah, what did you guys think of the first couple episodes, non-spoilers?
Mesmerized
Loved it
by the grandeur and the beauty.
Yeah. Oh man, like it. I know they were laughing like it's a $1 billion series. Like how could they spend that much money? But like it shows,
you can tell,
man.
The quality
is fucking great.
Yeah, they took their time. You know, the costumes, the locations.
A lot of the stuff I saw behind the scenes was like, oh, they're mocking, like, I forget who it was wearing, like, it wasn't like armor, it was like armor looking like stretch material. So like, oh, how could they spend $1 billion on like that kind of thing, on like someone wearing that kind of level of armor? It's like, I guess it could make sense just from that like spot of view. It was a bad shot, but otherwise I have not seen like they look like they're wearing full gear when they're realistic, or do you see some of the real like looking characters like, god damn, this looks good. Like this looks really good.
Even in I already forgot the name of the elven place, not the main one, but the one that's in Middle Earth.
Linden.
Linden. When they're all there and they're doing the ceremonies and stuff, and I'm like, they're looking at their outfits, man. This looks like some of the nicest, softest material you could ever find. Like this is like elf tier shit, man. Like it's legit. The costumes just fucking blew me away.
And yeah, it's they went out on ish. Yeah, I think went all out with that for sure. Because I don't know, is this what because it is production in
it is
New
I think
Zealand,
but Scott had said that.
Hoping it is. I know a lot of the gripe with this was that a lot of this wasn't filmed in New Zealand, so it's like, well, I guess that makes sense why, but hopefully Weta is still involved with it because like,
sure
I would think they are, because this shows at the production level of this set shows. And one thing I was wondering too, is this still canonically involved with Jackson's Lord of the Rings? Is this still the same, or is this kind of different?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think it's based on.
But
it's not like
it's not tied in same like canonically. Like it's not. I know these are the same characters like Elrond, everything else. But like, is it going to be a whole different version of Lord of the Rings come down time, or is it going to be?
I don't think so.
It's going in its own direction, I think.
Okay, because it looks like it's that level of quality, but I mean, because it looks like it's tied into the same universe as Jackson Lord of the Rings, but is it still?
I mean, it is and it isn't, because I mean, like, it's based on Tolkien's works and stuff like that. So it's like,
yeah, I get that.
I don't think they're gonna go on like a different path where it's like, oh, Galadriel dies in this universe or something like that. Like it's all gonna,
like that.
You know, it all probably goes towards Sauron, you know, making the One Ring and, you know, Isildur kills him.
Should do all that,
right? So it might just kind of look a little different here and there, but overall, it's gonna be. I think kind of the similar thing, because I mean, like, we'll talk about it, but like just the stranger character or whatever, like, you can tell like, there's a very much like shared experiences between that and like Jackson's movies and stuff like that, right? So but yeah, you guys said it. It's a striking show. It's the
stands out for sure.
You can tell it's the most expensive show ever made. It looks fucking amazing.
It does, yeah.
I
just slipped on into the old trivia in there, and it says the series is expected to be the most expensive TV show in history, with Amazon almost to spend nearly $1 billion on its production.
I think they said to get the rights it was $250 million just to get the rights, and then they said that the budget per episode is about $60 million.
I believe it.
which is pretty bonkers.
That's why they don't have anybody famous. It's like, you got no money left. We can't get any A-tier actors in this. So lucky new people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck. So I am so stoked for the next episode to see where this goes, because it's just
Same.
like,
That's the thing too. Like we could talk, we keep talking about like how great it looks, but like story wise, like I'm intrigued. I'm hooked
Absolutely,
in. Like
yeah.
I'm ready for the next
oh
episode.
yeah, you kind of see where it's gonna go.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
like
a couple of things you're unsure, but it's just like, who cares? I'm just so excited to see the journey and just like the lives of these different races and
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm familiar with the overarching story of like the Rings creations and everything else, how that happens. Like I don't know the specific details like they're showing here, but I know the general arc of how everything goes, right? So I kind of know. When I heard a few names here and there, I'm like, oh, I know that person's important at this point or that point, and I won't say who or what yet, but
Right.
yeah, you can, if you're familiar with the story, then it should come as no surprise of where things are going to go, but. Yeah, otherwise I'm still very much intrigued of these specific individuals, and like certain characters I wasn't surprised to, and I can't wait to see more of. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yes.
Very excited. It's very refreshing. It's just like, oh, it's like you're going on a vacation when you watch this show. I love it, man. I don't think about anything else other than like, oh, this is beautiful. This is amazing.
You're right. Yeah.
And then Carly and I were done watching it. We're like, okay, so which of these kingdoms would you like to visit the most? And it's like, I don't know. Like all of them. All of them look incredible.
Not the Southlands.
No, not that.
No, not there. Yeah.
But probably the Dwarven Keep would be the fucking sweetest.
Oh
though.
man.
Yeah.
Oh God,
cool.
gorgeous.
Cool.
Yeah. I guess just before we move into spoilers, just want to say, if you're reading bad reviews, just ignore all that shit.
Yeah.
It's all,
Trolls. Yeah.
It's getting review bombed to hell, and like, I was watching some of the negative reviews on YouTube, and like none of them stand up. It's all like just nitpicking stuff. It's like, Galadriel's not supposed to be like that. It's like, you know what? There's a thing called a character arc, and you know,
it is not
what she is right now might not be what she is in 100 years. You know, she might change. You know.
Okay.
So
yeah, I just read this here on Wikipedia. Sorry, yeah. So I'm like, I was asking him before if it's continuation or part of Jackson's universe. It says it here, per the requirements of the Amazon deal with the Tolkien estate, it is not a continuation of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit trilogies. So this is a whole separate thing from that. Okay, good. So that does answer my one question with that. So that really, but it says does share similar visuals because of just production and everything else. Because it's easier to tell a story that way that looks similar, right? So. Because yeah, okay. Now knowing that, okay, good.
But I think Peter Jackson was a consultant at one point.
Oh, very much.
No, he offered it. It says right here.
He offered it, but they turned him down.
He would not be involved in the TV series. However, in 2018, he suggested he might be offering advice on the scripts, which he asked Amazon Prime Studios to look at, but was turned down because he had like written some ideas on how they could do it.
But they want no involvement.
Nope, we're just gonna do it our way, and
okay,
that was it.
I think that also part of the review bombing is like apparently like I was like, oh, who fucking cares? They didn't hire him, so like
that's true. Yeah.
It's a fresh approach to it. You know, let's try it.
Exactly.
You know, it's a different time period and everything. Like, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, then So then all bets.
If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, I'm sure you watched it already. Yeah. But it's just get on it for sure. Like
I feel like anything that's sci-fi, fantasy, medieval, just watch it, man. You'll love it. It's really good.
All right, let's get into spoilers.
Okay, who's the guy that fell out of the sky? Is that Gandalf? Who's that?
Gandalf. It's Gandalf, or it's one of.
It's got to be him.
So
it's got to be him.
Is definitely one of the either one of the four wizards or one of
right or Sauron or whoever. No. Not Sauron, Saruman or something.
Yeah. I forget what the hell the term is that Errol, the god sends down. Yeah. Maiars are the ones above Gandalf. That's like the angels. These are like the sub angels. I
have no idea who that. Yeah,
I was just wondering. I was like Ishvatar.
Oh,
but like, oh yeah. He's definitely one of them because sent from the sky to fight. Like that, I would say it has to be Gandalf because it looks very, wild and either Gandalf or Radagast or maybe one of the Blue Wizards. But to me, I think that's I'd say it's Gandalf.
I don't know if it's like spoilery to talk about like the Silmarillion and that stuff like that, but like,
I think it is. I mean
I don't know.
It is still based off the Silmarillion.
Yeah. So okay.
That is the bones of the story, right?
Yeah.
So
I would say it's either Gandalf or one of the Blue Wizards. Is my guess.
I don't. If I can see them not pulling Gandalf because like that's too easy for a narrative one. Maybe someone different. But like the Blue Wizards are usually in pairs, so like they're very much like twins. Like Alfarius, that'd be a good reference for that kind of thing. Like it's not. Yeah. So Sauron maybe, but or Saruman maybe, but no, I say Gandalf.
Yeah, and I mean, like, definitely shared like him yelling was very much like when he gets upset with Bilbo in the house and that sort of thing.
And then all the darkness starts closing in, like
he gets big and like scary, and him whispering to the fireflies and just like
that's what got me.
Yeah,
I saw it super Ian McKellen vibes, man, the whole time. Like he's got the fireflies.
Yeah, very
when
much.
He's
so.
making the fucking constellation. I'm like, is that how wizards are born? They just come out of the sky and just like.
That's how they are, man. They're not humans trained in magic. They're low-level angels. That's essentially how they are, right? So,
which is sweet.
I
had no idea. I don't.
They just exist. Yeah, like, that's why at the end,
I'm like, it looks like Gandalf.
At the end of Lord of the Rings, he's whisked off to whatever the fuck that the place in the Far East is called.
Valinor.
Yeah. That's why like he's no longer needed, right? That's why he goes back with them, right? So,
I took a bunch of notes. I like wrote down. It's like here's all the main characters and what they're doing, and here's all the main places. But I think it probably is Gandalf. I don't know if he's gonna be going by the name Gandalf because kind of.
Well, depends.
The gray
or
who knows.
Or something, but it is eventually Gandalf, I'd say.
Because this is set thousands of years before.
Thousands or hundreds? I don't know if it's thousands or.
Because how many hundreds of years went by when Galadriel lost her brother in the battle?
Oh, centuries.
Centuries, she said. Doesn't say a specific amount. Just says
centuries.
Centuries. Yeah. So, and then it's still a couple hundred years after that final battle with.
Yeah. They're chasing after
with Sauron to where the Hobbit gets to, right? So.
Right.
Like it is probably close to 1,000, I'd say, or 1,000, maybe over 1,000, but definitely a couple hundred years for sure. Yeah, overall, right? Because
because they haven't even made the rings yet, have they?
No, this is all about. That's why you see when Celebrimbor came up, my ears went like ping. I'm like, oh, I know that name. That's important with the rings. That's a bad one, yeah. Right. He's the one who made them. So
who is that? Is that the elf?
That's the elf.
That's the elf that wants to make that spire.
That spire, yeah. So
tower or whatever.
In I don't know how close we're gonna go to it. In the lore of it, Sauron tricks Celebrimbor to make these.
I don't know if we should say this stuff. That's kind of spoileries for the show. That's what I was asking.
I don't know.
Like, do we talk about?
I don't know anything about
Silmarillion because like. That's like spoilers for future stuff. I don't know. Like some people might not want to hear that stuff. So I'm gonna say no future spoilers.
I don't want to hear that because I have no idea.
Okay.
I know there's gonna be a battle, but I don't want to know the fucking backstabbing, betrayal, trickery shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's important. Just keep your eyes on him.
Yes, he's important. I mean, you could kind of figure out that he's making a tower with a forge, and the show's called Rings of Power.
And he's got and then he's got that hammer. He's talking about like
he wants to build something that has power. He said that. So
and he's a
you could kind of figure that out, but
one of the greatest craftsmen, And so it's like obviously he's gonna build these rings. He's gonna be part of it for sure. But
Absolutely.
One scene I loved that I thought was a good touch of how like grounded the series is when Elrond goes to the Dwarven Kingdom and meets you meet my friend Doran, who's like he'll greet me with open arms and he'll welcome us with trumpets and 20 years later is like no fuck off, right? It's like, well, what happened? Like, dude, it's been 20 years. Like 20 years is a blink of an eye for an elf, but I lived a life in 20 years. It's like that's exactly it. I'm like that was fucking awesome scene. That hit me so good. I'm like, that's how they view it, man. 20 years is nothing for an immortal angelic being, right? For someone who's lived their life elsewise. It's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Right? Like, yeah. So it was a good contrast of how these elves and how everybody else thinks, right? So I love that scene. Yeah.
Even the way they bury their dead too, they just carve them out of trees like that. Like, fuck, that's cool.
A living monument of those we lost is like, that's fucking
Right?
it's poetic.
Live on
Yeah.
through the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I thought I would be buried here with him. Instead, I'm going back. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cool to see, like, touching on the Dwarven Kingdom, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see the Mines of Moria in their heyday back before shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Before all the goblins took over and turned it all into nightmare fuel caves.
Because you see Gimli talk about like how it was this epic area and this dwarven
like cities. These are cities, man. Like
monuments of their creation to be destroyed. It's like, that's awful. But now you see what they were.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
it's like holy shit. Like irrigation systems on steps and stuff too. It's like, man, like I almost wanted to pause it and just look at all the shit that was going on because there's so much going on. Like I'm definitely gonna like probably before the next episode probably try and rewatch it, but there's just so much.
I've been watching like reaction series, like I feel like I've seen the episodes like 5 times already.
Oh, there you go.
But it's it's pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's cool like to see them walking on the bridge of Khazad-dûm where Gandalf eventually fights the Balrog and that sort of thing.
Right.
It's like, shit.
That's the bridge.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And then what else we got? We got Elrond, the Black Elf.
Yep.
Who's he's stationed in the Southlands when he's like got seems to be in love with a woman, a female
An
human.
alchemist. Alchemist healer.
A healer.
Yeah.
And shit's going down in the Southlands.
Yeah. That's
cows
given black
shit.
milk.
Yeah.
I think in the movie, is that where the evil, the bad humans are from? It's from the Southlands, I think, right?
They did talk about that, where it's like,
where
these guys
his
were
reinforcements in the third movies were all from the Southlands. So.
Yeah.
I think that's where like the area gets kind of bad, right? But yeah, because all the stuff in Lord of the Rings takes place more north, right? So this is all areas we haven't really seen before. So
I think I was reading somewhere that maybe that the Southlands were kind of maybe not totally in Tolkien stuff. Like they kind of made them up for this.
Referenced. You don't go to it. I thought it was referenced. Yeah, or maybe because I don't know. Is Mordor a thing yet? Because I'm not sure if that's part of that too as well, right? So
no.
Because you just know it's evil somewhere, but where it's at, there's no specific Mordor. So
there's no Mordor. Actually, like, I don't think this is spoilery because I don't think they'll even get to this point. But like,
no, probably not even.
Where the Harfoots are at, they're like right. They're by the Mirkwood, and they're like the place that they're actually camping is where what eventually becomes like the Dead Marshes.
Yeah.
Like I guess west of there or east of that would be eventually Mordor. I guess,
So
the so it's way down here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a map right now because I love how they have the maps of like whenever something next scene. It's like they zoom out from the map. That's
super helpful.
I'm like, man, this is fucking legit, man. Like they put a lot of thought into this. It's just seamless.
Because that's the one thing that's hard with especially with a specific fantasy setting is how do you like show like the settings with it to new audience, especially who are not familiar with it. Like, no, now we're going to here and I see this character and I'm going back over there. Like it shows that transition, right? So
Mordor's big.
And
it's all
the Harfoots, man. I gotta say, fucking love those Harfoots.
They're pretty great.
I love Nori. Cute little halfling. Adorable.
Yeah. And they're on. They got to move apparently because hunters are showing up and
that usually means
wards, whatever that is, showing up.
Yeah.
And then poor old Nori's dad snapping his ankle.
Snapped his ankle.
That was brutal. I was like, oh man.
Rough.
Yeah.
Fucking Gandalf. He caused it. He broke his stick. I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. So I'm excited for that. And then, what do you think is like most intriguing, like so far? Like, which plot line are you most intrigued about so far?
Right now, I am curious what the dwarves were talking about at the end of episode 2. I want to say that was an Arkenstone, that heart of the mountain that they found, because I think that was the way it kind of glows is very much like that. But I think that's
what,
why, because
Carly said. She said that's
Yeah.
the one that was they're trying to get from Smog, right? Like when
Mhm.
they
I
come
don't,
back.
I don't
'Cause-
think so. Because
No, it's not the
they
same-
found
it's not the
that
same
in
one.
the Misty Mountain.
the Misty Mountain's a different thing, but that's often a sign of power for the Dwarven Kingdoms, right? Because when they find that means like it's just like the high level of rulership, right? So
I think
with
it's
that-
Mithril, I think, is what they...
Oh, it could
they
be
have.
that too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good one too as well. Yeah,
Could be.
it's definitely interesting because what size are the dwarves planning now that with Elrond's new plan? Like, where is
Mhm.
this tying into? Like, what's going on with this? I'm curious how that's going to where that's tying into right now. So,
Mhm.
so yeah.
I thought I would be kind of one character. Like I'm interested in whatever the black elf guy there with the herbal stick.
Arondir?
Arondir.
Mhm.
Arondir.
Arondir?
I'm interested in his what he's gonna find because it's more action oriented. But then I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I also want to know what's going on with Galadriel, like on that raft with that guy. That guy's
Mhm.
obviously got a weird past. Too. Halbrand, sure. And then like the Harfoots. I want to see what's going on. Like who is this mystery sky wizard guy? Who's
Mhm.
like I'm equally invested in almost everybody, which is really weird because usually it's like these side characters I don't care, but it's like
Mhm.
everybody I'm kind of like they all have the same amount of coverage, the same amount of importance. I think
because it's
Mhm.
what 5 different stories right now at the same time,
Yeah.
and it's all like equally like intriguing, like one over the other. I'm invested in all these
Mhm.
very much. Yeah.
yeah, I care equally
Yeah.
for all of them. So
And you have your boy Theo
Mm-hmm.
finding an evil sword.
okay, of all the characters. Of all the characters, like Galadriel and the way she talks, that's probably just a pet peeve, weird
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
that I got in my brain,
That's
whatever.
that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that kid, his voice, his antics, his fucking defiance, his fucking conniving stupidity, he's got to go, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm curious what that sword is.
It's like, oh man, people hit this guy hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kicking the ass.
yeah.
Yeah. Curious
times for him.
how that ties into, if that's like, yeah, what that ties into. I mean, that
Yeah, I
has
don't
me
know.
confused. Yeah, I'm
Does
curious
he
what that
take
was.
on the physical embodiment of Sauron?
No.
No.
I think Sauron still is a thing.
Physically a
We
thing.
haven't seen him yet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think
Because I don't think they killed him.
No,
They're not
never
trying to
did.
find the
Yeah.
source of his power. They're
No.
physically looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that kid, fuck man. Drives me nuts. But I guess you need someone to set the shitstorm in motion, right?
Yeah.
Right. Did you like that classic like horror shot of when they're fighting the orc in the house there, and then
Oh yeah.
she like chops his head off and it's like, "Ooh," and then like cuts to him like
Cuts.
like I was like,
No, Carly laughed.
like that
at
was like
part.
Army
She's
of Darkness level.
Yeah,
like,
I loved
yeah,
it. Yeah.
shot. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's pretty cool.
Carly's like, man, she's a badass. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, gotta protect her son.
that's right.
Yeah, and we saw some Ents when the comet was coming down. That's
Yeah.
cool. So, wonder if they play a part in this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Could be sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
exciting stuff.
Kind of hit on everything. Who do you
Mhm.
think? Who do you think's on the boat at the end?
Oh, I found them. I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
On the boat at the end. Sorry, what?
When,
I wonder if it's
after
the king.
storm there, Galadriel and Halbrand passed out, and then there's like a shadow standing over them.
Yeah, she like looks
I
up
forgot
and you
about
see
that. Yeah.
and then she passes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the king.
I think
Why
I think it
aren't
might be
you in
somebody. I don't know if it's him. I think
No,
it might
probably
be
not.
like
Pirate or something.
somebody from what's the Min's land, Numenor,
Mm.
maybe where
Because
Aragorn's
what?
from.
Yeah. Because what? Her human companion on that little boat there. Because that he's tied in with something shitty with the king or something, right?
Yeah,
So
he's got some sort of crest or something.
crest or something like that, right? Maybe with that, but who knows, right? So
Yeah.
no, yeah, that I didn't even forgot about that because I forgot how that ended. Yeah.
Mm. That the sea serpent was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when it like does the overhead shot. It's like, fuck, that thing is huge. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's epic. Oh, can't wait. That's every Friday, right?
every
Yep.
Friday.
How many episodes? I wonder. There's going to be
8.
probably 8.
8 total, yeah. I was just looking at it.
Couldn't
right
afford to do 10. $1 billion
No.
a season.
$1 billion, yeah, gotta do 8. But I mean, for an hour long, epic each one. Like that's think about it, that's an 8-hour movie.
Each episode did feel like a movie.
Yeah,
honestly,
man.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
good stuff.
So that was the one thing I had grief with was like Gladriel's like Talia, you're gonna agree with me that some stuff she talks about like okay, I'm not a fan of this, but because this whole arc of her like I'm gonna kill Sauron like but like fans know like you even explain it later on in the Lord of the Rings series like she doesn't kill him at the end. It's the King of Mankind that does, right? So like we know this arc isn't gonna go anywhere. Is why we're watching this, right? But now that it's a different thing, maybe it's gonna be different somehow. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm getting a little fed up with this real power talk, man. It's a little too much sometimes. Yeah.
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 She's in a little bit. A little bit.
She's
little bit.
she's a powerful woman, and it's
She's a bit stubborn, yeah.
Well, that's it.
Ah,
That's it. She's stubborn, and she's
Yeah.
not listening to the higher power because, in her mind, well, I mean, she's right. She knows that Sauron's still out
But
there.
that's
So
the thing, though. We know she's right. So, like, for us to watch her, like, being tossed aside, like, well, we know she's right. So she's going to come back and just say, I told you so kind of moments. We're like,
Mhm.
well, like, that's... Where's the fun in that? I don't know.
Yeah, and then just jumps off the boat in the middle of the fucking ocean, like,
in water. Ah. Yeah.
what the fuck you doing?
yeah, she's an elf. She can fucking swim forever.
Yeah. Endless stamina.
Pretty much.
Pretty much till not. Yeah.
In Lord of the
So
Rings,
still luck-
Legolas
she
would
gets
just
lucky.
stand by the fire while everybody else like slept, pretty much. So,
Well, that's a elves don't sleep kind of thing. But
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, they are immortals, I guess. Yeah.
exactly.
I
That's another
guess.
like gripe that people are like, "How couldn't she be a troll so easily?" She's like a
The
fucking
badass.
800
Yeah.
years old. She's been battling for 200 years, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
she's an
Have
elf.
you not seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Legolas kills a fucking elephant like by
Yeah,
himself.
it's an elephant with,
Fuck
With a
an
bow and
arrow.
arrow. Yeah, exactly.
God.
Fuck, it takes out like 380,000 fucking orcs, man. Like,
That fight scene did kind of bug me because I'm like, okay, why is she like, not that she's the one that killed her, but like, you have 8 highly trained elves and not till she comes in and dies. I'm like, I want to see a cool fucking fight. And that was kind of like a shink shink dead. Like, oh, that was it?
yeah,
Yeah.
the troll smacked around all of her buddies, and
Yeah,
then
she
she
comes in and does the
fucking
job. I'm like, no, I want to
annihilated
see I want to see a cool for $1 billion. I want to see a cool fucking fight with 8 elves and a big troll, man. Like, come on, like, make this
Yeah, that's
entertaining to
true.
watch. Yeah. So you see someone throw her off of a fucking blade somehow.
Yeah, that was
And then-
cheesy.
Jason
Yeah,
Elf.
that was
But then
They're
Legolas
like-
was doing cheesy
They
shit
can
too.
walk
That's
on
true.
top of snow. Like
That is true. That is true. They are apparently light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just I get it, but it's just like okay, it's
Of
alright.
all the things to think of that is wrong with it, that's it. Like,
That's it. Like
that
that-
is such petty little shit.
That's
that
so
doesn't even
petty.
matter.
Yeah, exactly.
doesn't even
It's
matter.
nothing. Doesn't
Like,
matter.
look at Lord of the Rings. I could make more jokes about that than I could fucking think about it. That's a masterpiece.
still
It's a
a
fucking
masterpiece.
masterpiece.
Yep.
So,
Exactly. Like
fuck the haters, man.
I was coming in not expecting like okay, I'm sure like I did not think I'd love it as much as I have, and I'm still loving it. So
Ah, it's
let's say fucking like
perfect.
nosedive this so hard, like season 8 of Game of Thrones, man. I don't see how this can go bad. It's
No,
just
you have so much material to pull from. You have
Mhm.
endless possible, and if you're gonna take creative,
liberties.
whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, you've got
I'm-
$1 billion.
I'm-
You can hire a good writer to be like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
this'll
all
work.
these grievances, I thought I would like. I see eye to eye on all these. Like, no, man, they're just all these people bitching about it. They're bitching about nothing. Fuck, like
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's wild out there now. I like
Yeah.
how all the troll, like everything's going back to like the way it used to be when there was no reviews. You go to the
Mhm.
store and like, oh, what's this about? Look at the back. Okay, I'll try it
Mhm.
and make up my own fucking decision if I liked it or not. That's
Yep.
what it's come to because you can't trust fucking critics. You can't trust people anymore.
Nope.
You just gotta watch it and fucking enjoy it for what
I
it
think
is.
it says
yourself.
something that I still rather watch this than House of Dragons. So yeah, who
Yeah,
fucked
me
up really
too.
the most? Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All the other Reddit, all the Game of Thrones Reddit, like I think we've won because their fan reviews are better. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm still not watching your shit. Nice
Yeah.
try.
Right. I mean, I probably will eventually once the whole season comes out. I probably will, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm curious to see like statistics because I'm sure Amazon will like we like. Yeah, with this we got this many viewers for the opening weekend or whatever of
something
the
like
show,
that.
so
Yeah.
I assume it'll be very high.
I think so. I'm just excited to keep watching.
Same.
Me too.
Hopefully, as long as it stays the same quality,
Bit better.
you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching the
I'm
trailers.
sure.
And that's another thing too. Like just watching like the original trailers, like 90% of the trailer was like in these first 2 episodes.
In the first 2 episodes, yeah.
Which is pretty good. Did you guys watch the like this season on Rings of Power after at all?
Nope.
No, it's just kind of like what to look forward to and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Not spoiling that. Nope.
No.
But let me tell you, there's some good looking shit. There's still looks
nice.
pretty expensive.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Oh, there's obviously going to be battles too happening, right? So
No.
Yeah.
My
They'd be
one.
riding on horses.
Yeah. So far, the one thing that I
yeah,
can't. It's so good. Can't even tell if it's real. Like practical effects are very much a hallmark for these kind of movies, and I felt so far it's been playing off very well.
Yeah.
But like the CGI is so good now, I can't tell what is and isn't. So like.
Yeah.
Like the scene where she's calling up the waterfall, that was mostly CGI.
Yeah.
That looked very realistic to me. I'm like, oh fuck. So what is and isn't? But like so far, the fact I can't tell is a good sign of like what's real and what's fake. Fuck, that's it all looks good, man.
Or they'll like do like where it's like, here's the real stuff, and then like they'll do like a drone shot, and then like there's the CGI stuff. So it just kind of blends really nicely together.
blended. Yeah. Exactly. I think that's the best way to do it, honestly. Just mix the practical with the CGI and just mesh it together. That's the best way to do it.
Yep.
I think Michael Bay got that all figured out. Transformers. Let's just blow up this entire city block and we'll animate some Transformers in there and just fucking have them dance around them. Make it look somewhat cohesive and call her good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan.
Anything else before we get out of here?
No.
So excited.
No.
Can't wait for more.
I think we'll I don't know, are we gonna talk about these like every Monday or
I think so. Yeah, I'm
I'd
okay
be down.
with that.
Yeah.
all right, there you go. This coming Monday. Right after the weekend, because this is a Friday episode. I think I almost forgot.
So
We're
we
recording
two
this
back
on
to back.
Yeah.
Two back
The
to back.
multiverse of madness here.
Yep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Don't know what day it is. Where are we?
All right, well, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We're like one of the only like positive reviews of the show on YouTube.
Surprisingly,
from what I could tell.
Really?
So that's I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean,
honestly.
there's some out there, but the most vocal are those who bitch the most, right? So it's they get the most attention. But
the negative people are gonna just search out the negative
Yeah.
reviews anyway. So
exactly, yeah. Echo chamber shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Most people who like it just like, I like the show, I'm gonna watch next weekend. they don't do anything
Nothing.
else. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Really subscribe, because like I said, we're working towards 75 subscribers. Just do the 1 chip challenge. That's your reward for helping us get there. If you're listening on a podcast service, you can leave us rating on that and subscribe as well. And head over to our Facebook page. You can like the page. You can submit a question for Ask Us Anything. You can submit a movie review for Cool Runnings. That's coming up pretty soon. I'm like, I totally don't
Next
know what
Wednesday?
day we're at right now. So,
So it'd be this Wednesday coming up.
correct. It'll be on the
14th.
14th, yes.
Day before my birthday.
You betcha.
So yeah.
Cool Runnings. And you know what? You could submit a review for the next episode of
tell us what you think of it.
if you want to chime in about the show, we'll read those on Mondays as well. Why not?
Right.
All right. Adios. Goodbye. We'll see you later.
See ya.
See ya.